Hey, good morning, folks. Welcome to today's episode 241, live market profile analysis by Trade Education. So we are at uh, very good morning session. So before I share today's analysis, I would just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. Okay, so quickly let me just share my screen, and I think a lot of visual references are getting developed right now. So these are the three visual references which is developed, and it looks like the auction is trying to enter yesterday's value. uh, Still it has not yet entered, so some choppiness action is seen currently. But first of all, I want to talk to you about the first fast trade which I was able to take, uh, and uh, uh, and it was like, I think it was for I don't know how many 30 seconds or 40 seconds, but the trade was, so this is the previous day high, okay, and this is where the auction has opened. What I was looking at is I was seeing some sort of exhaustion, around this high, and also this we have got unfinished auctions at high. So I was seeing some sort of exhaustion as the market opened. It went up again, came down, and when it was trying to go higher, and then I was not able to see a continuation to the upside. Yeah. So after the unfinished auction, the auction came down, and it was, developing around the open. So while it was developing around the open, so what was happening was coming here, bouncing back, coming here, bouncing back, again going down, and then, coming to the open and bouncing down, coming to the open, bouncing down. And it was just developing sideways. So that time I was also looking at the volume profile, and that basically helped me. So while this sort of activity was happening, so this is the first reference. The open was the second reference. The actual volume was higher than the open, but the auction was developing lower. And plus, we had this gap. So basically, we had this gap. This gap was filled, I think, in the B period. But again, let me draw. So this is the today's open. This is the previous day high, and I think this is where the first 5 minutes, I think in 9:16 is where, sorry, 9:18 is where I entered. But by this time, this entire auction was developed. So this is where the volume area HVN was, and this is where uncharted territory. So I kept my stop loss at the HVN, took a short trade, keeping a target of tagging the unfinished auctions at low. So this was a fast trade for I think about 30 seconds, and then the market just started falling. But I immediately exited, and then we had a bounce back, and again the market started falling. Yeah, so that's fine. So right now, looking at the current scenario, are there any trade locations? So yes, there are a couple of visual references. So we had one visual reference which is currently getting repaired. We have got one more visual reference where sellers are coming exactly at open, and for two periods, they took the entire auction down. Yeah. So odds are higher that, so first of all, wait for the auction to actually enter the previous value. This has not yet happened. Right now, what is happening is, so we had one visual reference. This has been tagged. You can take a long trade right now, or wait for the auction to develop above the point of control. Wait for the auction to develop above the point of control, and then odds are higher that we will be clearing this anomaly, and we might see whether we have a follow through or not. And based on that, so this is a quick fast trade which currently I'm able to spot right now. Apart from that, there isn't any trade location for say, because or else, wait for the low to be tagged. Yeah. So currently, we're still finding rejection at the current point of control. I was hoping to see continuation to the higher, but the auction is still tagging it and developing lower, tagging it and developing lower. Yeah. Overall current value is higher. Auction is trying to reach yesterday's value. It has not reached the previous day's value. We also have a prominent point of control. So if the low gets tagged, we observe whether it tags the POC and whether there is a bounce back. So see whether there is a follow through or not. Any trade you take, it's very important to observe whether we have a follow through or not. Okay. So yeah, a lot of information I've shared already. So the time is 11:35. So let's see what happens till 1 p.m. But right now it looks like the sellers are dominant. We have a visual reference here. We have unfinished auctions at high. Plus the current low is a few ticks away from the previous day's value. So odds are higher that we might be going lower, but there is a risk because yeah, odds are higher that we will go lower. We will go lower. Don't have a counter trend trade. Wait for the low to be tagged and see whether we find acceptance or rejection in the previous day's value. And based on that, you can take the trade of targeting this particular visual reference. Okay. So that's all what I wanted to share today. Let me see if I'm able to bring in Bank Nifty. Yeah. So Bank Nifty is one time framing lower. No major change is seen, and it looks like we will be tagging. So this was a single print zone, and we are above the single print zone, but it's one time framing lower. We also have a peacock rejection here. So let's see. But yeah, we have one anomaly. So uh, Bank Nifty is weaker compared to Nifty. Nifty is still stronger. So again, we are seeing some sort of rejection at the peacock level. Sorry, the current POC level. Okay, and let's see what's happening in crude. Crude is just developing. Yeah, it's just developing around this HBN. We just tagged it and it's just developing higher. I don't see any. Let me look from the US time frame. Yeah, so it is one time framing higher, and now we are seeing some sort of acceptance. It got rejected in the previous day's close. Yeah, so nothing much. I'm not seeing nothing happening in crude. Bank Nifty is developing lower. Yeah, so I'm just looking at Nifty and see again we are seeing a rejection at the current developing POC. So let's just wait and observe what happens because whether we are seeing follow through or not. Okay, so that's it. Thank you, and let's again catch up tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.